Just give us an update more broadly on what's been happening today.
Shall we really have this honest conversation? Not all the time you're speaking.
It's good you advanced.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Trends KE. It's yet another episode, and we're going to have an awesome show tonight. So tonight we are having that discussion, as it had been advertised earlier. We are having a discussion with the one guest all the way from India. I'm talking about Arindam Biswas, and we are going to have some business terminologies discombobulated. Look at that, making venture building inclusive. That's what we are going to talk about. And in that, it means that you're going to receive some lessons on how you can get into business ventures or other ventures that are not business without actually having to use those big terminologies and diction of business as you have always had. So Arindam from India shall be taking us through that discussion. Please start sending in your questions, which we shall be reading to him, and your contributions. But first of all, we shall be going to have those trending topics as always. And on the trending topics that shall be coming up, before we get into that, welcome to the Alternative Voice. Click, follow, like wherever you're watching us from, if it's on Facebook or on YouTube. And you will continue receiving notifications for all the shows that we are having. And one thing else, if you follow our online media platforms, let me just show you a few pictures of what we have started doing. We are now giving you news as they happen. So you shall have to follow our Instagram, our Twitter, and our Facebook platforms. Look at that, Larry Madoro. The guy has gotten another promotion. We have those news that are coming to you on our social media platforms, which you shall have to follow. Australia will be hosting Olympics for that time in 2032. That one is also part of the news we have started doing. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and some clips shall also be coming your way. That's all the way from our Twitter platform at the official the AV Alternative Voice. Tanzania opposition leader Freeman Mbowe arrested. That's what you should be expecting on our social media platform. So if you're watching us on Twitter, on Facebook, please follow, like, and you shall be receiving all those updates from the Alternative Voice. Tonight, we are bringing you all the trending topics of what has been happening the entire week. And the last time I was here, I told you there is an election that is underway, an election in Kiambaa and Muguka ward, where, as we had said, it was in someone's bedroom. And when we talked about the bedroom, we were talking about the president. So the thing happened, and the election was done. Jubilee lost the MP position, and they got the MCA position. So imagine if, going by what people had said, that it was the president's bedroom. So literally the president lost his bedroom. I don't know where he shall be going to sleep for the remaining term. That's politics, and politics is another game around here. So I want you to look at this clip. This clip, I'm being told that it's from Ghana, of these youths who have refused to take these bags. I don't know if they are bags of maize or what, from politicians. I'm wondering if that was in Kenya. I'm not sure whether you yourself would have refused. Not the other one. Yeah, that's the clip that my producer is just playing. Up next, let's have a look at it.
In the situation, Njoki in the situation, Njoki in the situation. Tunaambiwa twende home.
that clip shall be coming to you. Actually, that one that we have just played is another clip of youths that are not having employment. The youths in this country are really going through a lot, and itabidi tumeombewa. So let me take you up once again on what has been happening around this week. And something that has been happening around is that the Olympics have begun in Tokyo, Japan, and Team Kenya is there. All of you, I think you saw last week the Kenyan uniform. There are so many people who have issues with our uniform. Let me show you just what we are having there on the Team Kenya, Tokyo, Japan. That's our uniform right there. Iko hapo na Mr. Prezo mwenyewe akipeana uniform ya Team Kenya. Actually, how many of you are seeing that this Team Kenya uniform is having a similarity with that logo of our national broadcasting television, KBC? Have you people seen that similarity? Na hiyo logo ya KBC venye imeingizwa hapo kwa nini kwa mpango. So let me try and get you that clip that I was talking about from Ghana of this youth who have allegedly refused to partake. They are saying that they shall not be part of this. They have refused to be bribed. That clip is coming up just in a short while. Let my producer work on that. We are having a little bit of a technical hitch. So actually, as we look for it, you should start warming up for that discussion that will be coming up in a short while. We are hosting Arindam all the way from India, and we are talking about venture building made inclusive. So terminologies of business, wale mlikuwa mmeogopa business high school. So today we shall be simplifying it for you so that you don't receive it with that high school business terminologies that made you quit business, so that at least we have an idea, or you want to get an idea, you might as well get to hear about it. And as well, kuna mtu amenikumbusha pale. Kwani is it his birthday? Whose birthday? Actually, it's my birthday today. Hey, I have just read somewhere in the comment section. It's my birthday today. So for those of you wishing me a happy birthday, thank you very much for all those wishes. It's all my pleasure. So that clip is will be coming up in a short while. Another thing that I would love to talk to you about is do you remember that song wanasema ati mtoto wako akiitwa Kiyude nitakataa we ndovu ni kuu. So that song was pulled down, and I think it was about some issues to do with copyright, but the guy Crispa amesema si mambo na copyright. According to him, he's saying that that song was pulled down because KU has received a very low admission of students. Inamaanisha wazazi wamesema watoto wao wakipelekwa KU watakataa. For real. So that song was pulled down, but it's up again. I don't know how they got to convince people that it was just music. So let's have a look at this clip from Crispa. Ndovu ni kuu.
Yo, niaje, ndovu kuu hapa. And I'm here to address the issue that's going on right now. Most of you guys mmeona ngoma yangu imetolewa YouTube, Ndovu kuu yenye tumeficha Calligraph na Boutros Munene at 3.5 million views, right? So I'm here to address the same. Aya, kitu amjui ni this started on Friday. My full sentiments. Hii kitu ilianza Friday, where someone reached out to me, a guy named Koinange Mashua, who claimed to be the director of communications Kenyatta University, right? Alipoa link yangu via Dr. Kingori, the weekend edition. Alimsaidia namba yangu, and we thought it is business, so we normally do take calls, right? Foreign calls. tukaongea naye I told him to keep everything formal, to have Zoom meeting me na management yangu, sawa. Tuka have Zoom meeting, tuka reschedule because I was busy then. Tuka reschedule meeting na yeye. So this guy named Koinange Mashua, they claimed to be a director of communications, akaanza kutuambiaje, hey you guys, we need to talk with you guys, your song has a negative impact on our brand of our school, right? And we need to chart a way forward. Nikashindwa, ngoma yangu imeleta negative influence kwa shule yao. Nikasema sawa, acha nimsikize. So this guy told me, ame DM vice chancellor, sikum DM amebonga na yeye, wakasema niaje, it will be best for them to have me perform in their graduation, which is this coming week Friday. I think it's a virtual graduation, na nikiwe kwa kolabo ya wasanii wa shule yao which is pro the school, and he claimed that is a way to mitigate the effects that my song has done. Nenye sikuwa clear na maanisha nini, sawa. So nikasema kama mnataka, sio ni biashara ama artist ama brand, you know, and we do invest in our crafts, we sent him a proposal, right? Na costing
yeah, so that's actually that's how a song can make a whole institution to go down. I'm really wondering if at all what they're saying is true. And then something else that has been happening, speaking of Ndovu Niku, Gengeton, watoto wamekuja nyumbani wameanza kuharibu wazazi. So this kid here has decided to take the shushu through some classes of Gengeton. This actually not fair. Kids should open schools and go back. Kama hawajafungua, mimi naona wafungue shule warudi. Because at this rate, have a look at this.
Monday ni kazi. Hey, Tuesday ni to Monday. Tuesday ni to Monday. Wednesday sijali. Wednesday sijali. Thursday nangoja Friday.
Saturday nagoja Friday.
Friday ula la 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 la.
Saturday la 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 la.
Friday ula la 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 la.
Saturday la 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 la.
Più che kan shrio mio.
Shrio mio.
Actually, that's very, very much unfair, by the way. Kids should open schools and go back to school. Happy birthday. I'm saying happy birthday everywhere. Thank you very much, people. I really appreciate for all your birthday wishes. Thank you very much. Na watu waache kusumbua washosho, by the way. Holiday iishe, watu waende nyumbani, lakini watu hawataki holiday iishe. People still want another added holiday and another one holiday, like a holy day. They're saying all the religious institutions should give them a holiday. Can you listen to what this guy has to say?
I just wanted to gratitude the Muslim brothers for giving us your holiday, tafadhali. And I wanted to talk to all these other faiths, tafadhali. Kina SDA, kina Lesdio Maria, kina Wakorino, tafadhali. Kutaneni, mutupe holiday, mutuamulie holiday. Ndio at least, we need these holidays. Watu wa SDA, mutupe nini holiday, agarao hivi ya kunywa Fanta, ama soya, na kutulia, tukue wapole vile mnakuwa wapole. Alafu Wakorino, mutupe nini holiday ya gadho isi dansi toma ya kurukaruka. Mwadhi wako nini. Please, just find us a holiday. Alafu Lejo Maria, mutupe holiday ya kuzuru huku kwote na msalaba.
You ask for a religious holiday, and then instead of joining them, you end up like this guy. That will be not fair. If it's a religious holiday, if it's a church, go to church. If it's for the Muslim, go to the mosque. Don't end up like this other guy I'm seeing here. Well, but this. Hapo ndio unasikia mtu amepiga maji alafu akaenda akakunywa maji literally. Well, that guy has had a bad one bana. Holiday after holiday after holiday, and then you end up unalala ndani ya mtaro. Alafu girls in this town, please respect this old man. Kuna mbabas has come up to say to, and from the way he is speaking, it is like the mbabas has been heartbroken. Please don't heartbreak people's wababas, please.
Imagine staying with someone, you're there for her, then all of a sudden she starts saying, I'm looking for someone. As if you have become a dog. Now she's looking for a modo. And go there the modo. And you are there, always there around her.
Yeah, so that is it. Stop heartbreaking people's old men. Thank you very much. I'm seeing very many of you are actually tuned into the show. Let me get into this, some of your comments and read them. Who is the first one to comment on the show tonight? I'm the first one. That's the best Star Prof. As always, best Star Prof never misses the show. What did you just say, Sedo? This combo be what? Achana na kizungu. Mambo ya kizungu achia wazungu. Wewe kama uko na kazi, achana mambo na ya wazungu na kizungu. That's Bilha Joy from Narok, well represented. Bilha, thank you very much. Bilha also never misses our shows. Someone else here, JL Empire, Nairobi, tuned. Aye. Millicent Ochieng. Millie, thank you very much for tuning into the show tonight. Who else is tuned into the show? Brian Akeno is tuned in from Kisumu City. Bill Hajoy there is so happy for her mentor. Looking forward to learning from that. We shall be coming back to many of your questions as well. Let me play you one clip here from Willy Pose. Willy Pose anasema yeye akiimba nyimbo zake, tafadhali msiibe, na kama mnaiba wasanii wakubwa anajisikia sana juu ngoma yake inaweza ibwa na wasanii kama Diamond. Let's have a listen.
Story ya Diamond pia ni sample ama aliba hiyo song yako. Hiyo story imefikia wapi?
Niliachana nayo kwa niko na creativity kibao, so nikaona ni sawa kama idea zangu zinasaidia hata wasanii wakubwa, ni sawa. Yeah.
There's this guy mwenye aliclaim.
Does it also mulikuwa mmesikia historia ya KU, wamesema you can still take your kids to KU, hiyo story ilikuwa fake. So this video was long. I think my producer cut it before ishe. Let's just have another look at it.
Yo niaje, ndovu kuu hapa. And I'm here to address the issue that's going on right now. Most of you guys mmeona ngoma yangu imetolewa YouTube, ndovu kuu yenye tumeficha Calligraph na Boutros Munene at 3.5 million views, right? So I'm here to address the same. Aya, kitu amjui ni this started on Friday. My full sentiments. Hii kitu ilianza Friday, where someone reached out to me, a guy named Koinange Mashua, who claimed to be the director of communications Kenyatta University, right? Alipoa link yangu via Dr. Kingori, the weekend edition. Alimsaidia namba yangu. And we thought it is business, so we normally do take calls, right? Foreign calls. Tukaongea naye, I told him to keep everything formal, to have Zoom meeting me na management yangu, sawa? To have Zoom meeting tukareschedule because I was busy then. Tukareschedule meeting na yeye. So this guy named Koinange Mashua, the claimed to be a director of communications, akaanza kutuambiaje, hey you guys, we need to talk with you guys. Your song has a negative impact on our brand of our school, right? And we need to chart a way forward. Nikashindwa ngoma yangu imeleta negative influence kwa shule yao. Nikasema sawa, acha nimsikize. So this guy told me, I'm a DM vice chancellor. Sikum DM amebonga na yeye. Wakasema niaje, it will be best for them to have me perform in their graduation, which is this coming week Friday. I think it's a virtual graduation. Na nikiwe kwa collabo ya wasanii wa shule yao, which is the school. And he claimed that is a way to mitigate the effects that my song has done. sikuwa clear na maanisha nini, sawa. So nikasema kama mnataka, sio ni biashara ama artist ama brand, you know, and we do invest in our crafts, we send him a proposal, right, na cost implications of the same, juu ni performance ya graduation na feature in the music video with the navas yenye anafanya with the students. So kumtumia email na iko na cost implications, the guy wrote back to us ati we as Kenyatta University will not pay you to mitigate effects that your song has brought to our institution. Namuuliza ati intake ya shule yao imeenda chini kwa sababu ya ngoma yangu. What do you mean? 40% intake inateremka juu ya ngoma yangu. Kwani mimi nikitoa ngoma nilikuwa na university?
Kwani mimi nikitoa ngoma nilikuwa nimejua wanafunzi watakataa kwenda shule? Yeah, lakini bado wanasema ndovu ni kuu. So let me take you very fast through some trends. I'm saying time is really not on our side, and we need to get into that discussion. A little bit of a technical hitch over here, but getting fixed. And something I want to tell you, have a look at this guy. This is Larry Madowo. Larry Madowo has gotten a promotion. He's now the international correspondent of CNN. Huyu Mungu wa Larry. Hey, what direction does Larry face while he's praying, so that all of us can also face that same direction? The guy has gotten another promotion. He was just recently from BBC to CNN and now promoted from Kenya. He has already moved, and he is now out of Kenya. He has gotten into, he actually made that update sometime yesterday. Huyo Mungu wa Larry pia sisi tutamuomba ndio atukumbuke tuende kwa njia hiyo hiyo. There is this guy whom I'll talk to you for a while about this. So this guy apparently he's a Kenyan who is living in the UK, but amesema ndio aweze kupata citizenship ya UK. He's saying that Kenyans are what actually the term that he has used, he said that Kenyans have a problem with people who are in LGBTQ community. Amesema wa Kenya watamharas akirudi huku. So I really don't know if you also think that's true, that Kenyans harass people who are in the LGBTQ community. That's why he has sought to remain a citizen of the UK, and he has received the citizenship. Actually, he has received the citizenship of the UK because of that. And the Olympics are up. There is a guy from all the way from Uganda. Huyu jamaa aliamua harudi kwao. He is not going home. He will stick in the Tokyo until the Olympics are done. But unfortunately, he was found. Alipatikana akiwa mahali alikuwa ameenda, and he was brought back to the camp. So what I'm wondering is how he will be going back home, how he will look while going back home to Uganda on that. And then something else that I want to talk to you about. We are in the Olympics. How many of you have watched this movie? People might be taking us up in all other sports, but when it comes to track races, we throw that down. Those of you who have watched that movie of Prison Break, you know what that means. Bring it on. Bring it on the war. This is what I was talking about. Larry Madowo has started a new job at CNN, Atlanta, Georgia. The guy is already in another level. And he actually put up some posts recently talking about having lost his uncle, and also the grandmother is very ill and there are no vaccines in Kenya, and he's really afraid of what might happen to the grandmother, because you know the grandmother is about 96 years old and not vaccinated. And if you go to the West, there are people who are below even 18 years, some people are 12, they have been vaccinated. People they are being actually bribed to get the vaccine. Mtu anabaiwa kitu, anaambiwa you have this so that you can take the vaccine. And here people want the vaccine, but they can not get it. They just can't get it. Then what was happening around this guy Wanjara? You know the story that has been going around about him having murdered kids, little kids, very many of them underage children. I'm wondering actually what is happening to the youths and people in that bracket to an extent that someone can get into killing so many people. I really don't know. I really don't know why someone would do like that. But Kenyans, as always, will politicize everything. And talking of politics, kuna mtu hapa aliamua kupiga tattoo. A tattoo on ameamua ni Ruto 2022 on the back. So what happens when 2022 is over? What do you use to cover such a tattoo? No. That's not good. So I think we shall be winding up on that because we have to get into that discussion very fast with our guest. And I'll just get quickly into some of your comments so far before we bring our guest on board. I'm the first one. We had read that. Thank you very much for being the first one. There we have Millicent talking about what we are doing on the social media right now. Huge transformation there. Keep up the alternative voice. Yes, so you should go and look at our social media platforms so that you follow and like, you get those updates as they happen. From Kapkoi, there, Albert. Thank you very much, Albert. And who else? Daniel Jaka is happy today to host someone from Asia. Looking forward to being enlightened from Mr. Arindam, tuned in from India, Kochi. Thank you very much. That's our producer, Don, all the way from India. Good work, the alternative voice team. You've been upgrading. You have updated with current affairs. That's Bilha. Thank you very much, Bilha. And today is our host's birthday. Happy birthday, Cedric. We love you. Thank you very much, Millicent. Thank you. Paul Kinuthia there. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much, Paul Kinuthia. Cedric, please cut the cake virtually. Wewe mumeamua kunidea. Two-wheelers. Hello, beautiful people. Hello, people. You have greetings there from JL Empire. They just legislated using Olympic nomenclature for any kind of adverts marketing. Happy birthday. Wow, the happy birthdays are just too many. Very many. Vilma Afiwe is actually was our guest last time from South Africa. The other week. We have another one there. Happy birthday, my brother. Thank you very much. Helen Marura, happy birthday, Sedo. Thank you very much, Helen, for the birthday wishes. Do you have any idea and don't know how to take off with it? Then Arindam is the guy you should look forward to. That conversation coming up shortly. Isio kiki. Siku hizi kiki, kila kitu ni kiki, by the way. Hata hiyo ya nini ya mtu amejiwekea nini kwa mgongo, it might just be another one of them. Very many comments which you shall be coming back to, but first let me bring on our guest all the way from India. Put your hands to hello, Arindam. Good evening to you.
Hi, Cedric. Good evening to you, and many happy returns of the day. Thank you for being me on board.
Thank you very much for heeding to our invite and coming to the show tonight.
Thanks to you for bringing me on board.
So, first of all, first before we get into the whole discussion of getting into ventures, tell us about your initiative, the platform you are running. Kindly tell us just briefly, what is it about?
So the whole initiative is called Changepreneurship, which basically means if you look at entrepreneurship today, everyone is getting into entrepreneurship. But if you ask people the meaning of entrepreneurship, they may not be able to tell you. They might just tell you things like it's a business. It is not. The meaning of entrepreneurship is actually undertaking some kind of project, be it anything. So my whole objective of naming it as changepreneurship is that there are individuals across the globe who are actually extremely enthusiastic to start their own ventures. But however, what happens is that there are lots of difficult modules that people have to learn in order to start their venture. So my thing is that that should not block them from making a change in their life by bringing a venture, which is why I said I will simplify all that concepts so that anyone and everyone from any kind of background can easily understand the steps of building their venture and bring about a change in their life, which is why I call this changepreneurship. And I've been running this platform for the last 1.5 years, and I'm quite happy to say that I have so far mentored close to more than 40 to 45 people across 6 countries.
Yeah.
And there is no marketing of this. I've just been out there, people have been reaching out to me, and by God's grace, it's been growing organically.
Yes. And talking of mentoring people, actually, we had Bilha on this show sometime, and she was talking to us about her initiative she has started somewhere in Narok here in Kenya. And then the other day we also had another guest here on the show from South Africa. That's Afiwe, Alina Afiwe. And they are both saying that you are actually their mentor. So
yes.
How I had asked you actually this before we got to the show tonight. How do you juggle between being able to mentor people from the different countries while also taking part in your own activities, putting in mind that these people from different parts of the world have different timelines. Like if you have to mentor someone from Kenya, it might be during daytime. If you have to mentor someone probably from America, it might be a different time zone. How do you juggle between those time zones?
Yes, that's a very, very appropriate question. There are 2 parts to it. The way I would like to say there are 2 parts to it. One is, this is a life lesson that I would like to tell anyone. If you have interest in doing something, and if you're passionate about doing something, you will make the time for it, right? And the second thing is, if you want to make the time for it, you will start organizing your life in that way. So the way I deal with my regular work as well as mentorship is that luckily the time zones that I deal with, like in India, most of the approximately about 60 to 70% of my mentees, they come from various African countries, and rest of them come from Netherlands and the US and Latin American countries. So what happens is that of these countries is the African countries which are the earliest in terms of time zone. But the way I work this out is that post 7 p.m. India time, it becomes around 3 o'clock, 3:30, 4 p.m. across Cameroon, across Nigeria, across other places, right? So I come back from my regular work and then I freshen up and I make the time to mentor people at that time. And apart from that, many a times, though I don't, sometimes I make exceptions and I also mentor over the weekends, right? So this is how I juggle. I simply do this because I have a real passion for mentoring people. More than anything, I like to see people bring about change in their life and build a better identity for themselves, right? Which is why I do. That's what drives me.
Yeah, and I had also asked you earlier about getting into ventures. So let's say there is this someone who is just very green about business. They have never been into a business class. They don't know anything about business. how are you going to help them so that they can come up with a venture that would help someone else's livelihood or even their own financial life? Do you give them ideas on the ventures as well, or are they supposed to come to you when they have ideas of what they want to do?
Yeah. No. To start with, no one has to. There is no rule that you have to have an idea to come to me, right? The whole idea of changepreneurship has started from the fact that when you have a vague something, when you have the wish only, you just have to come with a wish that you want to do something for yourself, right? Now, the reason I call this a venture is because, and not a business, is because
Yeah.
when you talk about business, that you people tend to think in terms of economics, right? But when you talk about venture, it includes many more people. By that, I mean there are people who want to open their own NGOs, there are people who want to open their own social enterprises, and there are people who want to come for proper business, right? So when you say venture, it includes all of them. Now, coming to your question, the point is when you can come to me as unclear as you are and say that, hey, Arindam, I want to, let's take an example that will help me to explain. Someone can come and say, hey, Arindam, I want to do something for the youth. Now, you can imagine this is very, very vague, right? So, the way I go about is that I start with a module called the reflection module. The reflection module, actually, the whole objective of the module is to get one to think clearly about what venture one wants to build, right? So, it combines three aspects. That is, I tell people, what do you really care about in this life? What do you really love doing in this life? These are two different things, because I might love music, but I might care for people who are actually very poor, for example.
Yeah.
So these are two different things. And then I put a third component and I tell them, what skill set do you have? Can you bring to the table? Right? So someone might say that, hey, I love music, I care for the youth who are coming from disadvantageous background, and I'm very good at sound engineering, for example. That's my technical skill. So my thing will be, how can you combine these to craft a career for oneself? So I would tell them, hey, you know what? There are a lot of people, lot of youth today, right, who are extremely talented, but are not getting into the limelight, right?
Yeah.
So they can sing well, they can play well, but nobody is going to give them a chance. So what can you do? So with your skill set of sound engineering, you can scout these youth and you can host them on a platform and allow them to express themselves. So what are you doing here? You are combining three things: what you love, what you care, and what skill set you have, right? This is where the start of a career is. So you come to me as vague as you want to do something for the youth, and you go out with an idea that you can do perhaps
Yeah.
this thing very precisely for the youth. And as you
Yeah, sure.
start this, then I get you into understanding, what you're coming up with, how much demand will it have in the market, right? Now, people get scared with these terms like, business, research, then market potential study. I'm like, we do all of this practically, and you need not speak this term. You can do this very, very easily. So that is why in my changepreneurship model, I have 8 steps that helps one to build from a 0 stage of an idea to a 1 stage
Yeah.
of an idea.
Yes, and so this is an individual who wants to start a venture, and then they don't have the finances to start this venture, and then they come to you. Do you
Right.
also have a way of advising them of how they can first get the money to get into this venture that they are thinking of coming up with?
There are 2-3 ways of answering this question, Cedric. The thing is,
Yeah.
whenever you're building a venture, let's not even talk about business. Whenever you're building a venture, I do not believe in only volunteering. I always believe that every human being that makes an effort to provide a service to a set of target group who needs the service must be paid back. That is
Yeah.
business, right? For the people, by the people, right? So before you talk about money, my whole objective, and I tell people, is that whenever you're building something, you must ensure that there is a steady revenue stream. You should not rely on only donors and philanthropic money, right? So any business, there are two ways to start a business. One, someone who has nothing in the pocket, right?
Yeah.
How do they start, right? So the thing is, it's a catch-22 situation. You have a proof of concept, right? Now, proof of concept means, for example, you have an idea. There is a mentee of mine who is basically, who says that, hey, I want to start this by myself. They have she has an idea, but I can't do it. I said, there are other ways to do it. That is, you market yourself first, saying that, hey, I am capable, right? And this is my concept. So when you start with zero money, you start with marketing yourself, saying that, hey, you are capable and you've got an idea that is strong, right? And then you pitch yourself, and then you get someone to give you, you don't ask for too much money, you ask for very little. That way people have faith in you and they say that, hey, I'm not hedging too much on you, right? A little money to bring my concept to life, right? And then when the concept comes alive and if you gain confidence of the market, then there is more money pouring in, right? So this is how you start step by step. In today, the financing of businesses has a very, it has to change. The thing is, any investor feels that they have to pump in a lot of money in the beginning, but that's not the case. The thing is, an investor can always give very little money to see how the proof of concept is coming alive. And then if they gain confidence, give a little more money. Nobody's asking you to give too much money at the same time, right? This is how you start.
Yeah, sure. And there are so many people who have already started sending in their questions into the discussion. Alex on Thursday is asking, in Africa, most countries are developing. The youths have no promising financial muscle. How is this idea feasible? I think it's just related to what you've talked about right now. How someone can get into a venture without actually having the finances.
Yes. So there are two ways. There are a couple of ways that you can do about this, right? One is, the first thing we don't realize is the power of network, right? So what I do is that I have mentees across several countries, right? There are some mentees who are already established. They are doing things by themselves, right? And then there are mentees who are just starting out green, like as you said, right? So what I do is that I connect them together and say, hey, you know what? There are two ways you can help these guys out, right? One is either you can back them up financially a little, or you can get them in touch with an investor or a potential partner who can pump in a little bit money. The point is, there has to be a small start somewhere. And if that barrier gets broken, then the floodgate opens. So I'll give you a live example of one of my mentee who is in Nigeria, who is in Kenya right now. He came to me, he had nothing. He came to me and he said, I wanted to start my own business. I said, what skill set do you have? He said, I somehow managed to do self-studies about digital marketing. I said, great. So there are other people who are offering digital marketing. How will you, what unique thing can you do? He says, I can execute logo design. I can execute website design. I can execute XYZ. So I made a list. Then I said, okay, you can do this, fine. Start identifying 4 to 5 prospective clients who are existing in your area and start WhatsApping them and meeting them, right? So he went on foot and he walked and he spoke to many clients and he broke 2 clients. And they said, hey, why didn't you design this logo for me, right? A small project. Then he said, hey, why didn't you do this part of the website for me, right? So he got those 2 projects and he got a little money in hand. And then he said, hey, I got a little money in that. I said, now build your own website through a free website. There are many sites which allows you to build website for free, right? And then put this project up there and put it on your Instagram channel. Now what happens is that when you open your own website and your Instagram handle, you start to gain social currency. And that's how he started building. Today, he is a freelancer. Wow. And he's earning his own money.
Yeah, great. There's another, Afish Kize from South Africa saying, I'm here to listen to my mentor. I can't wait to learn more.
All right.
I totally had no idea, no resources when I started. All I had was an idea which wasn't even clear. But here I am making milestones through Arindam's help. That's Bilha from Kenya. then we have best Stafrof asking, how did you decide to come up with this kind of venture? What drives you, and what is your goal? And as you answer that, you also tell them what's your background profession, something we had talked about. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I have been in the field of management, which basically is advertising, retail marketing, as well as brand management for the last 13 years. Now, I also come from a family who is very, very economically come from a very low economic family, right? So I had to really struggle, right, to start getting a proper education in order to start getting a better job, right? Now I understand this struggle. So my thinking was, hey, here I have this skill set. What can I do with this skill set to help people who are also struggling like me, right? Not everybody can afford to go to a big business schools. Now I always tell, hey, business schools are there, but without that also you can learn. So what I have been doing, the point is how I got this idea about this venture is that I've got 13 years of practical experience. I've launched many products in the market. I have launched, scaled up many businesses, and I've got practical knowledge. So my thinking was, how can I package my practical knowledge and see if this can help anyone to start their own venture? And that's how I got this idea. And that's how I started teaching people.
Yeah. Wow, that's great. Another one here, that's Don Jaka. Very timely and enlightening venture, ready to learn. That's Don Jaka, our producer there from India. Chirukim, specifically what is the target group for this new short in digital venture? What is your target group? Yeah.
Chiru, that's an excellent question. That's an excellent question.
Yeah.
The target group for this venture, whom I have in mind, are people who especially come from non-management background. So imagine this. You can be from completely a creative field. The people, those are highly creative, they're famous for being non-managemental, right? People who are completely from engineering background, there are basic concepts of management that they are not aware of, right? Then there are people who have not had the opportunity to go to a management school. So they have not learned those things, right? So now you see, these are the target group. These are the people I exist for. This organization is for them. Today, if you look at the modules that exist in the market, people, those who already have experience in the management field, there are modules built for them. Business model canvas, the golden canvas, and there are thousands and thousands of models, but it is only meant for people who already have some educational background in terms of businesses. But my job is to break that barrier and see how can I build module for people who don't have proper management background. So I say that this module is for anyone and everyone, regardless of their academic background.
Yeah. Sure. Another question I had was that you are doing mentoring to very many people across many countries of the world. So my question, I had also asked you this earlier. Are you making money out of this?
Well, that's a grand question. Now, depends. Now, the thing is, this is where I want people to start changing their perception about what they are doing and how they expect to earn out of that, right? So, let me give you a very simple example, right? All of us go on to Google, right? Anything that happens, we go on Google, right? So, how do you think Google earns money, right? Google, if they would have thought that they would make money from the people who are Googling, then Google wouldn't be what Google is. Right? So Google makes money because there are billions of people who are logging onto Google, right? So Google has a huge database, which is good for whom? The brands. So Google make money out of advertisement, right? But whereas you are the consumer who are not paying a single penny for it, right? So same way with my program, currently what I do is that when I teach people, when I build this program, this is giving me visibility elsewhere. So with this program in place and my website, when people have seen this, I've backed 2-3 projects in India already, right? So my job, so what am I doing here? I'm helping people without taking any penny, but at the same time, I'm getting project elsewhere, right? But my dream is that as with God's grace, if this grows bigger and we get to include people who can pay, I will ask people to pay. But This model will be buy one, get one. For example, there is a cohort of individual who can pay, and there are cohorts of individual who can't pay. So people who can pay will pay, those who can't, they can't. And that's how the business model will be built so that it is sustainable, because there has to be sources of revenue.
Yeah. Well,
So there are already people in from Netherlands who are like, hey, we want to be part of this. What's the duration of this program? And I'm like, hey, you know what? This program, if you want to do from zero to the end, it's about 6 months with us, right? So
and
yeah, go ahead, tell me.
I wanted to ask someone who wants to take, but to be part of this venture, what are they supposed to do so that they can, in case either they have an idea and they don't know how to make that idea work, or they are green, they have no idea, but they want to do something and either make money or help people, because ventures do different things. How can they access your services, and what exactly are they supposed to do?
Yeah. So like I define it, there are 3 stages in which people get into venture. They come to me. One is stage 1, that is completely green. They don't know what they want to do. Stage 2, they have an idea that I want to. So like yesterday, I met someone from Nigeria. He came and told me he wants to open a social media channel, that is YouTube and other channels, to promote content about Nigeria. Right? So he's got an idea, but content about Nigeria is not sharp enough. So I told him, what kind of content? We need to think on that. Maybe he wants to get into history. So who is the target group? So this is the second type. The third type is that this person came to me from Ghana. He already built a website which hosts a lot of news from Ghana. Why did he build it? He built it so that he could train individuals in the media, knowledge of media. So he would give internship to them. So you see, there are 3 stages of businesses. One is green, one is you have an idea that needs to be sharpened, and then there is someone who already has a business running, right? Now, these 3 came to me at different stages, right? One came to me saying, I have no idea. So what we did, we helped them to clarify their idea, and then we helped them to build their venture slowly.
Yeah.
The second stage, who came to me yesterday, right, saying that I want to create a social media channel to promote Nigeria. My thing to him was, well, you've got an idea, let's sharpen this. That is, what do you want to promote about? He said, I want to make people, I want to show cultures of Nigeria. I said, do you want to position yourself by saying that, see Nigeria the way you have never seen Nigeria? He said, that's a great idea. I said, then create content. This is the second guy. So what I did here, he came with an idea, we sharpened the idea, and he's building on it. The third person who came to me said, I already have built a platform, but I don't know how to grow my fans. I don't know how to get more traffic. So I told him that, hey, you have started a business, but it is not yet established, right? If your objective of the business is to get more internship, you have to start having tie-ups with organizations, right, who are willing to take the interns who are coming out of your institute. Then you build legitimacy. He's like, that's why. So now you see, anyone can come at any stage of their venture, right? And we have always got help.
And do you give the services on a basis of person to person, or you talk to them as a group?
Okay, so now the possibilities are of 2. Okay, right now I'm doing it one-on-one, but I have already started to arrange. For example, one of my long-standing mentees from Ghana, he's there. He's an extremely well-read person, and in fact, his story is funny, so that you can understand. He came to me because he said that he wanted to start a mental health organization for the youth, right? But then pandemic hit, so it's about 1 year old. Pandemic hit, and he was like, I have no money, right, to start the whole venture. So I said, what do you think you like doing? He says, I'm very much interested in food. I said, do you think you have a little money to start something? He says, I have. I said, whom do you want to compete with? He said, I hate KFC. I said, so you want to compete with KFC? He said, yes. I said, get a couple of chickens and we'll make grilled chicken and see what happens, right? So today, he owns a grilled chicken business after 1 year.
Wow.
Right? Now he is running a small venture, and during pandemic, he supplied grilled chicken to people, right? So the point is, he's making that money so that he's saving up a little money so that he can open his own venture. Right? So So to come back to your question, that is, yes, it is possible, right? There are many
Yeah.
ways. You just have to come with an open mind.
Yeah, sure. So I'm seeing time is moving very fast. We're almost up to the hour. We
Yes.
have just a few minutes to
Sure.
go. So we shall be sharing your platforms on our social media platforms so that people can get to you. But you can just tell them if you want to contact you, those who are watching right now, how can they get in touch with you?
Oh yeah. So what I can do is that I can leave there is my website which I have sent you. There
Yeah.
is provision of WhatsApp as well as it's linked with my email IDs, right? They can WhatsApp me, they can write to me directly, and I will get in touch with them.
Yeah, sure. So we shall be sharing that in the comment section and as well as post it on our social media platforms. So many people have had a lot of questions on this, but I'll just before I get to the questions to finalize, because most of these are about this first segment of the show. What are your final remarks about this? This show, most people watch are within the youth bracket. So these are youth. These are youth who wants to get into a business or wants to get into a venture, like build up something that can help the society. Currently, the rate of unemployment is very high. There is very much taxation with the effect of Corona. Someone is there, they don't know what to do, they are giving up on life, they are stressed up. What can they do? Just a piece of
Yes.
advice to them.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes, let's be honest about the fact that life is stressful, and it is extremely stressful. Not only for them, it's for me, it's for everyone else. But the stress is
Yes.
we if we don't survive today, we do not thrive tomorrow. We have to start with that mentality. First and foremost, you got to make your mind really, really strong. There have been times in my life where I have had absolutely down, but you've got to put your mind to it and say, this too shall pass and I shall survive. Point one. Point two is that because unemployment rate is really high, the thing is, people must start to learn and have skills about how do you craft your own career, right? You can only craft your own career by combining, like I said, three things. That is, do not give up hope. I sit and identify what do you really care, what do you care about in life, what do you really love, and what skill set do you have. Let's combine these three and innovate a career. You need not
Yeah.
always join an existing career, you can always innovate a career, right? So my
Yeah.
advice to people is that do not lose hope, even when it looks like there is nothing that is left, right? So the thing is, let's continue to work on combining these three and figuring out what is it that we want to do, right? And there is always an idea that will come up.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much for that piece of advice. Let me just go through the comments. Thank you very much for those of you who have tuned in to the show, and thanks for sending your comments, which I am reading right away. That's okay, Samuel. Hapo leo ni kizungu tupu.
What does that mean?
Mwalimu wa kizungu Lumumba Felix is saying there is a lot of English on this show. Justina Kageni, happy birthday, Sedo. Great show as usual. Thank you very much, Justina, for the birthday wishes. Birthday boy. Thank you very much for that. And another comment coming up just in a while. Sorry for a little bit of a technical hit there. Bill Hajoy, I had read your comment there, Starprof. We had read your comment there, and specifically of what target we had read that question. Bill Hajoy here saying, yay, happy to see you, Arinda. That's
I'm so happy to see you guys too.
Two-wheeler diaries. I don't understand that.
That means greetings in Indian.
Oh,
it means greetings to you.
Namaskaram.
Yes.
Another friend here, all the way from India. That's Ashwarya Ashok. More life,
Oh,
more blessings, dear. May your dreams come true. Wishes from India. Thank you very much, Ashok, for the wishes. Who else is tuned in? Shirukim, happy birthday. Hey, today there are very many birthday wishes in the show.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy
Happy
birthday, dear
birthday, dear
Cedric.
Cedric. Happy birthday to you.
Birthday to you.
Yeah.
How old are you now?
This is great.
How old are you now? Happy birthday, dear Cedric. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. This is a happy birthday surprise for Cedric Yeoman, live from Nairobi, Kenya. This is the Alternative Voice. Yeoman, happy birthday. Happy birthday. Kata igegi kwanza live alafu live show. Aje amepata game.
Hili ni bonge la surprise.
Kata keki sio ugali. Kata keki sio ugali. Kata keki sio ugali.
Hey guys, people, this is a surprise here. I hardly expected this. Bonge la surprise hapa. I even don't know if I shall continue reading the
Normalize na pande. Yo, birthday boy. Yes. Thank you very much. We don't know where Don Jaka is. Yo. Hey, birthday. The guy is standing out. That. You're turning One a producer all the way from India. Yo. We sing this together. Mesha kwa shuri, where are you?
Wow, thank you very much.
Now you can finish the show. No, hii show unafanya na keki mpaka iishe. Nini wewe? Don.
Happy birthday dear Cedric.
Sawa Don. Tunamaliza aje? Nisome comments bado Don.
Yo.
I think we should get the closing remarks from our guest Arindam.
Yeah, yes. I think you had given your final remarks. Biswas Arindam, thank you very much actually for showing up to this show tonight. And you can see I'm ending it out in style. Thank you very much for showing up to the show.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Yeah. And we shall make sure we share your platforms so that our audience can follow your platforms and get in touch as well with you for the services, and we get more youths building benches.
Thank you. That'll be great.
Yeah. So thank you much everybody for tuning into this show tonight. As you see, I've been surprised. I wanted to read all your comments, but then fortunately or unfortunately, we cannot read all your comments because waambie by the way wameniletea delay rangi hapa.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Cedric. Happy birthday to you. Mesha kwa shuri on the back end. Come on board. Come and sing to us, bro. Happy birthday, Cedric. Happy birthday, Cedric. Happy birthday, dear Cedric. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Wow,
brother.
wow. Thank you very much, bro. Thank you very much, Meshak Washuri. That is actually the alternative voice team. Is part of the team, and I didn't know this guy said plant all this. Thank you, thank you.
As you talk about that, Milka, that is not fair. You see what Milka is saying? Milka kuangoka. Please. Sema tu ni mimi. Na roho yako kuja direct. Thank you. Thank you. Wow. Umsa kula hii keki msa kidogo. Weke pale pale. Sawa. Don, thank you very much from the other side of this broadcast.
Now I can end the broadcast.
No, you can eat this first before you end. Cleo mpatie hiki. No, I
need to have a rushing sugar.